Hey people of the internet, this is JuLeDoS. It's been 25 years since the first Kid Icarus game arrived on the NES, and now our favorite angel has made a return in the form of Kid Icarus Uprising. It's been 21 years since the most recent Kid Icarus game of Myths and Monsters, and this game is a lot different from its most recent one. Rather than being a platformer, this is a third-person and on-rail shooter. Now, does this game's drastic change in style of gameplay make it any worse or any better? Well, I'm glad to say that this game is great. It's been 25 years since Medusa has been last defeated, and of course it's up to Pit and his guide, Palutena, the goddess of light, to defeat Medusa again. You're gonna do this by taking out all the underworld troops that Medusa's been sending out, and take out some of her top commanders. I'm scared. During the campaign, there are two main forms of gameplay. You'll be doing some on-rail battles in the air using your power of flight that Palutena's gave you, and it controls and plays out a lot like Sin and Punishment's Star Successor for the Wii does. And this is by far the best part of the game, as these battles are very quick and very addicting. Then there's the ground areas, which take up the most bulk of the gameplay, and these play more like a third-person shooter. Well, a unique third-person shooter, that is. And then there's a multiplayer mode, which uses the land battles and basically has you either on teams or in a free-for-all in order to defeat all the other angels. Unfortunately, this is land combat. And there's also an extensive amount of weapons that you can collect, and there's a lot you can do with your weapons also. You can fuse them together and just have a good time with them. And there's also a trophy system, as in the Super Smash Bros. Series, where you just collect little things called idols, and each one will just give you some kind of background information about the different things in the game. And then there's also AR card functionality, which really is kind of just to show off the AR card's capabilities. But then you can also make your AR cards battle each other. And oh yeah, there's one mode of gameplay that I completely forgot to tell you about. The menu. I literally spent an hour playing with the menu. It's fun. And so for a fun premise and great gameplay, this game's premise and gameplay gets an A. The graphics in this game are great, with each environment looking much different than the previous one. It's clear that a lot of thought was put into designing the environments of this game. See what I mean? Look at how much different this environment is from the previous one. And also the 3D effect looks really good. I mean, it really helps you judge distance, and I couldn't imagine playing the game without it. So for graphics, this game also gets an A for pushing the limits of the 3DS as Resident Evil Revelations did. This game is presented in simple Super Smash Bros. Styles menus, with each chapter divided into about 20 minutes of gameplay. It's really nice considering this is a handheld game, and it's clear that the developers, Sakurai, really took thought in making this game for a handheld system. And the sound is also pretty fantastic. The voice acting is very cheerful and nice. I mean, just listen to this. Classic. Although some reviewers complain that the voice acting kind of makes it a little bit annoying when you're in battle, I thought that it actually was a good way to progress the story, and although it can get annoying at some points, and the dialogue can sometimes be downright cheesy, well anyway, despite a few annoyances with the voice acting, the music is spectacular. You can listen to all the music you collect at any given time, and let me tell you, it's pretty good. Personally, I'm a fan of Dark Pit's theme. Yes, there's a Dark Pit. There's a Dark Mario, as in Super Mario Galaxy, Dark Link, Dark Samus. Huh, we need a Dark Pikachu. So for great sound and good voice acting, I'm going to give this game sound and presentation actually a name plus, because although the voice acting can get sometimes annoying, I thought that it was a good way to progress the story personally, and the music on its own is spectacular. Controls are the one area where I'm going to have to bash this game. In flight battles, you have to control your reticle using the touch screen, and you attack using the L button, and you move using the circle pad. However, all of this can be changed. However, it just feels so awkward. However, land battles are where the controls really begin to suck. You control the camera by flicking the touchscreen in the direction where you want the camera to go, and you aim using the touchscreen as well. And you dash and evade attacks using the circle pad as well as move, and you attack using the left shoulder button, and it just doesn't work that good. I mean, once you get used to it, it's alright, but it's just really awkward. Although, once you get used to it, it's not so bad, but your hand can cramp up. I mean, when your game has to come with a stand to play it, that should be a red flag right there. Although the controls aren't the best, you can get used to them after a while, and they're not the worst. I mean, I actually prefer them over Zilla and Strolling Western, which is a good game to compare this to. While the controls are annoying at first, you can easily get used to them if you try. And this game's controls will get a C because they're annoying and difficult to get used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. And value-wise, this game is great. There's a bunch of stuff to collect, including 9 different classes of weapons with a bunch in each, which is a lot of fun to collect. I really enjoy it. And then there's the whole idle system that I mentioned earlier on. And not to mention that the actual campaign mode is really long. You start out with what seems to be 9 chapters, and then you defeat Medusa. But then, surprise, there's a plot twist, and you actually have about 20 more chapters after that. Each chapter starts with the flight battle, and then a land battle, and then a boss. And this is done really well, keeping in mind that this is a handheld game, as I previously mentioned. And this game's just a blast to play, really, especially the online functions. I mean, playing against actual people in a Nintendo game is a lot of fun. And this game just has so much content also, so for fun and value, I'm going to give this game an A. So, this game's difficulty isn't really too important since the game will choose your intensity level for you. If you're sucking, it'll give you a pretty low intensity rating, but if you're doing really well, then it'll give you a challenge. And as for the target audience, I would say this game is mainly for retro gamers who really miss the old days where Nintendo was actually hard, or just hardcore Nintendo gamers looking for a challenge. And so I would recommend this game for ages 10 and up, or the audiences I just said. So overall, Icarus Uprising is a fantastic purchase that any 3DS owner should buy. It's got a lot of content, it's great fun, and you're going to enjoy playing it because you're going to be playing it for a long time. And although the controls are kind of sucky, you can get used to them after playing for a while. I got used to it after about 5 hours of playing. And so this game is probably one of the best 3DS games